Rasulullah saw a dream. He saw that once he was taking water out of the well, and as he was doing that, he kept on doing it, and then he got tired. And then Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu took the rope from him and he started pulling. And Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu took out the water from the well for a while, and after a while he got tired as well. But then Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu took the responsibility and he started taking out the water from the well, and he took out so much water that everybody got to benefit from it. So Rasulullah said that the ta'bir of the outcome of this dream that he saw was that in the life of Rasulullah, Islam, although got established, but it was just initial stage of Islam. And then Abu Bakr Siddiq, when he took the reins, he too had many problems that were instantly faced. There was people who gave up on Islam, there were people who claimed prophethood, so he had to settle things down. Then he was only prophet for a very short time, and which didn't give him much. But Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, alhamdulillah, Allah gave him a long time to be the Khalifa, and in his Khilafat, a lot happened. So much so that Islam got spread all the way up to what was then Sham, and is now Syria and all those areas, and even Jerusalem got conquered at that time in his Dawr Khilafat. And that instant of conquering of Baitul Muqaddas is also an amazing one. I don't know how many times I've read this or heard this, but every time it is an amazing incident. Sayyidina Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was the Sipah Salar. He was the person who was given the charge to lead the army in this battle or in this conquest. And when he reached Baitul Muqaddas, the Muslim army surrounded it, and now there was basically a standoff. Muslims army was surrounding, and the Jews were within their area. So after a while, the scholars from the Jews, they came out and they said to him that, to Sayyidina Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah, they said that there's no point you fighting us. If you are the one who Allah has allowed to conquer Baitul Muqaddas, then the signs of that are already written in our books. You call your leader, and when he will come, we will compare the signs that is written in our books with him. If they match, we will give the keys of Baitul Muqaddas to you ourselves, and if they don't, then you can fight with us all your lives and you will not conquer Baitul. Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah, he wrote a letter to Sayyidina Umar, and he said to him that this is what is happening, what do you suggest? So Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu made a mashwara with his council, and they said to him that, Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, it is not recommended that you leave the center. You're required, your presence is important for Islam. We do not recommend that you leave the center. So he said that, he thought about it and he said, no, I will go. So when he was about to set on the journey, people said to him that, Amirul Mu'mineen, what you're wearing at that time, Sayyidina Umar was wearing clothes which had 12 patches sewn on it. 12 पेवन लगे हुए थे उसके. And he was sitting on his camel, अपनी ऊँटनी पे बैठ रहे थे, and he was about to go. So people said to him that, Ya Amirul Mu'mineen, you are the representatives of the Muslim. You are our Prime Minister. You are our head of the Muslims. You are going to the stage as a conqueror. Do something. Put on some nice clothes. Here's a horse which is looks like a battle-hardened horse. Take this. So Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu heard the counsel of those people, and he put on the clothes and he took the horse and he started the journey. Few miles into the journey, and he was with one of his slaves. Few miles into the journey, he got off the horse. He put back on his torn clothing, and he said, I will travel on my camel. And he said to his slave that we'll cut a deal. The deal is that I will ride the camel for 1 mile and you will walk, and then the next mile you will ride and I will walk. So they will alternate between walking and riding the camel. And it so happened that when they were reaching Baitul Muqaddas, it was the turn for the slave to ride the camel. So they entered Baitul Muqaddas with Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu holding the camel with a rope, not even with a leather sling, with a rope in his torn clothes sewn from 12 places with the slave riding on the camel. So when the Jews saw this, they said that, Wallahi, this is the conqueror of Baitul Muqaddas. In our books, it has been mentioned that the person who would come to conquer would be like this. He would be wearing clothes with 12 areas where it would be sewn off, and he will be pulling his slave on the camel. So, subhanAllah, this was the ajzi of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala. Another very interesting incident happened over here. So once Sayyidina Umar, as a boy, they would all, we heard this about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about Abu Bakr, we heard this as well, that they would all go to trade in Syria. In that area, they would go for trade. So Umar radiallahu ta'ala, before Islam, would also go and trade. And on one such trade trips, he got lost from his group. And now he was looking for them, and he couldn't find them anywhere. So he sat down against under the shade of a house wall. So the person in that house, he came out, and he was one of the scholars of people of the book. So he said that, what are you looking for? He said, I'm looking for my group. I've lost them. He said, I'll take you to your group, but I want you to do a deal with me. I said, what kind of deal? He said, I want you to give it to me in writing that when you come here as the king, you will not charge me tax. So Umar looked at him and started laughing. He said, I am not even likely to become king of Quraysh, let alone become king of Arabs, and let alone become king of this country which is so far from even the Arabs. So what are you talking about? So I said, forget about that. I don't care if you do understand or not. I just want you to give it to me in writing that you will not charge. So Umar said that, maybe this is an old guy. So he didn't, he just signed it. He said, let me just go to my group. And when Umar had conquered that area, now that the Baitul Muqaddas fell, this area surrounding it also fell. And the option that is always given was that either you accept Islam or you pay jizya, right? Jizya means that you pay a tax. So this person came up to Umar and he said that, here's that letter. And Umar said, what is this? He said, remember at that time you signed this letter and I told you that you would be a king. So Umar started crying. He said that, subhanallah, look at the greatness of Islam, that Islam had brought me to this place where I am now king of all this surrounding.